Introduction to the Rise of Marduk, Book 3 of the 7 Tablets of Creation. Divine kingship and the architecture of authority by the time this third tablet opens. The cosmos is no longer innocent. The primordial waters have been divided, Apsu has fallen, Tiamat has risen in grief and fury. Monsters have been shaped from the deep, and the tablets of destiny, symbols of cosmic authority, have been placed in rebel hands. The universe stands suspended between two competing sovereignties. War is no longer a possibility. It is inevitability. Yet before battle can begin, another question must be answered, one more fundamental than strategy or strength. Who has the right to rule? Book 3 of the Enuma Elish does not begin with combat. It begins with assembly before weapons are lifted. Authority must be established. Before chaos can be confronted, kingship must be defined. This is not accidental. In Mesopotamian thought, power without legitimacy is instability. Authority must be recognized, conferred, and ritually affirmed. The cosmos, like the city, requires structure, and structure requires a center. The younger gods have survived the death of Apsu, but they have not yet secured sovereignty. Ea's cunning preserved their existence, yet cunning alone cannot unify heaven and deep. Anu bears celestial prestige, but not decisive force. The divine assembly trembles before Tiamat's organized rebellion. The crisis is not merely military, it is constitutional. Tiamat has given Kingu the tablets of destiny. In doing so, she has transformed rebellion into administration. Chaos now claims lawful authority. The cosmos is no longer threatened by random destruction, but is confronted by rival governance. In this moment of polarization, leadership becomes necessity. The rise of Marduk must be understood within this framework, not simply as heroic emergence, but as negotiated sovereignty. He does not seize power in reckless ambition, he demands it conditionally. If I am to defeat Tiamat, he insists, my word must become law. This demand is the theological heart of Tablet 3. Marduk recognizes what the others hesitate to admit. Fragmented authority cannot defeat organized oppositions. Collective fear cannot overcome primordial wrath. The cosmos requires a singular will capable of decree. Divine kingship, in this context, is not tyranny, it is consolidation. The divine assembly tests him not merely to measure strength, but to measure legitimacy. When Marduk commands a star to vanish and return by word alone, the gods witness more than spectacle. They witness creative sovereignty. Speech becomes structure, decree becomes reality. In Mesopotamian cosmology, speech is power, to name is to define, to command is to establish order. Marduk's authority rests not only in storm and weapon, but in voice. Only after the assembly affirms him, after feast, oath, and ritual proclamation, does he become king. This mirrors historical Babylonian ideology. Kingship was never assumed to be self-evident. It was granted through recognition, sealed through ceremony, and renewed through ritual during the Akitu festival. The Babylonian king reenacted submission before Marduk, affirming that earthly authority flowed from divine sanction. Thus, a myth and the state mirror one another. Marduk's ascent is not merely cosmic drama, it is theological statecraft. It explains why one God rules above all others. It justifies centralization. It sanctifies hierarchy. But beyond its political dimensions lies a deeper truth. Crisis reveals structure. The younger gods discover that survival demands more than alliance. It demands unity under a singular sovereign. Where chaos thrives, where authority fractures, order emerges, where leadership consolidates. Book 3 stands at the hinge of the epic. Behind it lies grief and rebellion. Ahead lies combat and creation. Between them stands the question of kingship. Before Tiamat can be faced, before the sea can be split and heaven and earth divided, the cosmos must agree upon its ruler. And so the gods gather, not for battle, but for decision. The rise of Marduk is not the beginning of war. It is the birth of centralized sovereignty. Only once authority is unified can chaos be confronted. Only once legitimacy is granted can power be exercised. And only once a king is crowned can a universe be remade. Introduction to the Rise of Marduk. 7 tablets. Symbols. Introduction. Divine to those who've cosmos. Divine kingship. Divine to between the ark and fuse and priests. Divine, 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 divine. Introduction to the Rise of Marduk, Book 3 of the 7 tablets of creation. Divine, 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 divine. Divine, 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 divine. Divine, 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 divine.